I hope like this isn't the beginning of the end for Lamar. Like he has, I mean, taken on an unprecedented workload.
You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about Lamar Jackson. I was doing my morning workout this morning, and I put in the MMQB with Albert Breer and Connor Orr. And Lamar Jackson and the Ravens became a topic that they were talking about. Now, Lamar Jackson hurt yet again. He's got a back bruise, something like that. Tyler Huntley come in. I mean, honestly, he's sort of he's more than a serviceable backup. You know, we haven't talked about the fact that if he would have stayed on the Browns, I mean, isn't Tyler, let's just keep it real. Tyler Huntley, he's better than Kenny Pickett, I think. There, I said it out loud. Anyway, doesn't matter. I mean, Pickett was traded to the Raiders, but it does kind of tell you where the Browns were. They had Snoop, and then they let him go. I still think he can start games. I think the Ravens and the Packers this weekend, Malik Willis versus Snoop Huntley, I think that's interesting. I do. And I said it yesterday. Malik Willis looks like a starting quarterback to me. He does. So this is starting to make the rounds, and let me start with the Ravens. The actual Ravens website, BaltimoreRavens.com, their official website. Pundit says Ravens should draft a quarterback behind Lamar Jackson. Oh, that's interesting. You actually put this on your website, and I don't know if he destroys the guys. I don't know. I don't know what he says about this. I don't think it matters. The fact that you put it on your actual official website is wild. Right here, SI.com, that's what Connor Orr and Albert Breer work for. It's time for the Ravens to draft a young QB behind Lamar Jackson. Here is the video. Let's go.
Hey, Lamar. A lot of this stuff is difficult. And Lamar's coming up on another negotiation. He's professed his desire to have a fully guaranteed contract. We've since had the NFLPA leaks where we know that what owners think about this kind of stuff and how collusionary their behavior was. All that said, I think the answer is pretty simple, and that's just to draft a quarterback in the first round, because then everybody's on notice, right? And if Lamar gets hurt, you have a talented guy there to back him up. If you want to trade Lamar, you have somebody to step in.
Not just draft one. Draft one in the first round. If you do that, you're sending a clear signal. You're on the clock. Doc, you are on the clock. Like your time with Baltimore is coming to an end. It's interesting.
If you want Lamar to, almost like Rodgers, say what you will about the Jordan Love thing, that was the most, and I'm not saying Lamar is out of line. I'm not saying that. But that was the most in line that Rodgers ever was. He operated in an offense that he would have never operated in otherwise and won back-to-back MVP awards, right?
I mean, I think you could argue like that Jimmy Garoppolo had that effect on Tom Brady.
And Jimmy Garoppolo lit a fire into Tom Brady's ass, too.
I mean, Tom Brady, like not that Tom Brady needed it, but like I don't think it's a coincidence that the Patriots started winning Super Bowls again after Jimmy Garoppolo came aboard, and now Tom Brady has his successor on the roster, you know, so It can certainly have that effect.
And look, Albert Breer covered the New England Patriots back in those days. He's a big national NFL insider now, but the Patriots was his jam back in the day. He still goes on New England radio all the time. It's interesting.
Yeah, look, I would just start with like my my initial feeling on that whole thing, like when it went down on Sunday, was sadness. Because I hope like this isn't the beginning of the end for Lamar. Like he has, taken on an unprecedented
Sure.
workload. We haven't seen a quarterback deployed this way. I think we went over the numbers yesterday, but he actually has almost as many carries in 8 years as Cam Newton had in 11 years. He's close. Like I think within 50 carries, right?
Okay, we'll stop it right there. That's crazy. That's crazy that he's got basically Cam Newton's workload in 8 years versus 11. And we all watched Cam Newton fall off a cliff. Cam Newton literally just, boom, when he was done, it was over. It was a wrap. And I went to look at quarterbacks that are going to be in the draft. I mean, as of right now, the Ravens, I think, would draft around 14th in the first round. I mean, you'd have to try to jump a couple. I mean, there's some real QB needy teams up there. But it is interesting. And Lamar's such a fan favorite up there. Can you imagine if they put a first-round quarterback on this team? And it can't be lost on John Harbaugh that he goes, I won my Super Bowl with a real pocket passer named Joe Flacco. Which is amazing. They thought Joe Flacco was like done. Joe Flacco probably comes back and plays next year. But that's interesting. I went and looked at the prospects. The problem for the Ravens is I don't think they can get high enough unless they decide to take Ty Simpson. If Simpson decides to come out, I think he ultimately decides to stay. Garrett Nussmeier, a guy that looked like the number 1 overall pick for a while, and then he fell off. He looks like a second-round pick now. Would you just draft him at 15 or wherever you're going to sit mid-first round and bring him in? How's Lamar going to I think you do that to send a clear message. Number 1, you're not getting that. It's crazy because, his contract is starting to come up again. By the way, he's injured again, and he's wanting another contract. I'm just saying, are we doing this again? Is that what we're doing? And we found out, the league wasn't going to give him a fully guaranteed contract. No NFL owner is going to. There will never be a fully guaranteed quarterback NFL contract unless it is like a Kirk Cousins, where I think Cousins got all of his guaranteed money that they were going to give him. I'm not talking about with the Falcons, but with the Vikings, where it was like, okay, I'm just using this as an example, a 3-year, $75 million contract, all fully guaranteed. Well, that's because you were going to pay him at the time $75 million fully guaranteed anyway. So you just made it a 3-year contract. Unless it will greatly benefit the actual team, you're not going to, in other words, you're not going to see a team ever do that again. There won't be a Deshaun Watson situation. And I don't know how they would have to jump. They would have to jump the Browns and the Raiders to get to Mendoza or more, because there's starting to be some steam now that Dante Moore may actually be the number 1 overall pick and Fernando may drop to second. Either way, they're both going 1-2 in some form if Moore decides. And I also heard yesterday, Oregon's about to back up the Brinks truck, the Nike Brinks truck, to get Moore to come back to Oregon for another year. And then, whoa, you're talking about Carson Beck. Cade Klubnik, guys that are more like third, fourth round, fifth round guys. Would be Carson Beck. It would be interesting. Just even if you took a late round flyer, it's a known college quarterback name. I don't know. I heard this and was like, whoa. And you got to wonder, is this something from the Ravens that they want to start having percolated throughout the media? That happens a lot. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.